It don't matter.
It's a terrible angle.
School lady boys in the mother flipping house. I was gonna try and change the orientation. No, that didn't work. We're live, I think. How the frick did it says change that in settings, right? And then there's no option to do it.
You know what I really like? I like how you wait until you're live before you.
Listen, people don't care. They don't care. We can change and move and adjust. What we do have to do is get this bitch up there. Let's have a look. Let's get a bit closer. You don't need 70 feet. What are you doing here? Don't stop moving that back, you mother. I need to be able to touch this thing.
I'll go through the comments.
Okay. Here we go. A few people coming in. We're going to allow some people to roll in, and he's sitting in a bit.
Yeah, but we might be having guests very shortly.
Very shortly. So guys, how are you doing? We thought we'd jump on. We've actually got a live schedule later on, but we thought we'd jump on here while we've got an internet connection, because the wonders of Pendik, Turkey, the internet connection is not ace.
Oh, see,
we already IV.
No,
or have we got Dr. Mark in the mother flopping house?
Stem cell doctor.
Listen, for any of you guys that don't know about VitaCell Biologics, check out this dude. This is Dr. Mark, guys, from VitaCell. I wish you'd stop moving that back because I can't adjust the chat, dude. And that's
I
important.
will do the chat.
Yeah, but I need to be able to read it. Don't go too far back. Stop mucking about with that. Right, so VitaCell Biologics are healing arm wrestlers, regenerating arm wrestlers, some of the best in the world. The man responsible for sorting out Devon LARRATT and bringing him back to the fold, for sorting out John Brzenk, this big mother fluffer right here, the stem cell Mark.
It's been my pleasure.
Talk about your journey. We're getting 50% roof, so I'm gonna bring us closer in and we'll just focus on you. There you go.
How are you?
They know what I look like. They're like the fat one in black.
They know who you are. Who's that guy?
So let's have a look who we've got in the chat. We're just building up at this point, letting a few people come in. Terence Opperman. What's up, Terence? How you doing, brother? Big B. He says, hey, Doc. Do you know Big B in Canada? Well, look at this damage here.
That's how my stem cell journey started.
Yeah. Give us a bit of an overview of that.
So about 15 years ago when I was younger, in college, I played football, and I sustained a pretty bad injury in my knee, which pretty much ended my career in football. Years later, I found out about the power of stem cells, and I put stem cells in my knee, and it literally gave me my life back. So since then, I've changed my whole path, and everything I do now is to help people, athletes like you guys, and to try to regain their health, regenerate their tissue so they can stay in the game, keep playing. And it's been such an amazing journey watching all these athletes who were told they were career-ending injuries are now back, not only in the game, but winning world titles.
So look at it. One of Mark's, one of the reasons that he's here is actually to do some treatments on Engin. And I was speaking to Engin Terzi earlier today at 16. That's right, 16 shots. Various areas of body, because he was pretty beat up, isn't he? He's wrecked.
Pretty bad, yep.
So Engin is feeling super upbeat about it. He is now really more than ever looking to get on that comeback and trying to rip people up. So anybody who thought they had an easy run, you never know. He could be coming back.
They are definitely going to see him on the table again.
Let's have a look.
Along with some other people that I know.
Hey, you never know. It's all in the long game. Let's have a look. Jake Ransom's in the chat. Glenn's in the chat. Craig Gavikkaland is in the chat. Tall Paul is in the chat. Andan is in the chat. Marble, Carolyn Looms. Neil, pulling for you, bro, over the next year. Work for Engin. Hey, mate, you never know. And Terence Opperman, you're going to see out in Vegas. He's did I just say Vegas?
Did you say Vegas?
You can't see me, so it's pointless.
You now.
Shut you.
It's a big secret.
Right, here we go. Old Broken Guy is in the chat, brother. It's my guy right there. There you go. Neil versus Michael Todd. No twice, mate. I tell you, that's why I need the fucking stem cells.
Michael's scared.
Let's have a look.
Hello.
Oh, we might have a bit of a live intro here because I'm going on an IV, guys, while this thing goes down.
Yes.
Keep running this thing, mate.
Well, I'll go first if you want.
All right. James is going to go on the IV first up. So, feel like death on a stick. We're going to have an IV right here. This doc is going to hook us up to the IV. Ivan Kozlik with a super chat. Ladies and gentlemen, wow, Devon LARRATT, dominant, absolutely dominant. A venomous look in the eyes of the man from Canada. Mate, he's quite ready for this.
He's very ready.
Listen, anybody out there that doesn't believe that this is legit, that doesn't believe that there is tension, venom surrounding this thing,
Think
there
again.
is. Holy shit,
Yeah.
there really is. The amount of emotion, the amount of tension that you can feel here when you're in the venue is off the scale, isn't it?
It's amazing.
It really, really
It's
is.
amazing.
And we're about, what time are we now here? So I think now we're about 5 p.m., about 10 minutes to 5. Tonight we will have, in fact, the rule meeting starts in about 10 minutes. We won't be there, obviously, but we will be going.
The press conferences.
Press conference is 8.
Yeah, so it's quite a while now for
Yeah,
us.
8
Okay.
p.m. So we've got a little while. We're all going to get,
Want to read your super chat out?
if you can.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's the one we just nailed.
Oh, we just nailed it.
Saw that one from Ivan. He's the man. Let's have a look. Who else we got in there? Brad Butler, good to see you, mate. Nice to see all you guys. I bet you're ready for this thing tomorrow night. So, Mark,
Yes.
you've worked on a lot of guys. And I'm going to zoom in on your ass.
Uh-oh.
You've worked on a lot of guys in various sports.
Yes.
Have you ever seen anybody with the physical structure that you can see from Denis CYPLENKOV?
He is a machine, almost not even human. I've never seen anybody with his structure, body build. He is very stern, and he's here for business. And I think it's going to be quite a match. Quite a match.
You're getting a close-up of that knee there, dude. You can see the extent of that
knee.
damage.
Isn't that pretty?
Playing games. Sharp attack.
Brand new, though, now.
Stem cells. Vitacell.
And as far as Devon, I mean, Devon's in the best shape of his life. He's literally doing things now that he couldn't even do 20 years ago. You know, he's stronger, he's bigger, he's faster, he's better, and he just feels amazing. This literally has turned the clock back on him. So really looking forward to seeing his domination tomorrow night.
He is very, very upbeat about this match. So we were just out for lunch about an hour and a half ago. And Devon is extremely amped for this match, as much or more so than I've ever seen him, to be perfectly honest. Denis is very quiet.
Very quiet.
Seems quite...
Very quiet.
He's keeping himself to himself, you know. Doesn't seem to be getting revved up, doesn't seem to be getting flustered or irate. Obviously, you guys are all aware of the amount of emotion surrounding this whole thing, but it seems to be washing right over him. He doesn't seem to be too concerned about that at all. Tomorrow night is going to be where it goes down, guys. Tomorrow night, as soon as they take grip, they're going to download all that information. And that'll be interesting because they've got a set of options that they can take at the table. Everybody today has been coming up to me saying, who do you feel is going to win? There is a lot of feeling amongst the people who've come here live that Denis is going to take it. So I feel like I'm a little bit the outlier again. I see it slightly favoured to Devon. I think Devon, anywhere from sort of 55-45, right up to 60-40, depending on that first start. Ooh, Stacks, how big is Zauer in person? He's very, very similar to Georgie. If you look at the two men side by side, they're pretty much similar stats. Very, very similar stats. That's a very interesting match. Ivan Kozlik with a super chat there. He's put in the name of the Father LARRATT, Son LARRATT, and the Holy Neil. Bless the Vitacell Biologics and Dr. Mark for No Limits Abomination. You must be proud of the recovery it's made.
You know, I'm so fortunate that I get to do this. I have seen people recover like nothing else in medicine today. And don't let this fool you. Stem cells are the future in medicine, in all medicine. And these guys are just living the dream. Again, never have seen people heal at this rate in any medical scenery. So it's going to be very exciting to see the results of tomorrow. Everyone already has seen the results. I think I've treated, I want to say almost everyone here, but
You have
a
a lot,
good
yeah.
amount of world champions that are back in this arena because their bodies can now perform at a top level.
And of the guys that you've met here, were you familiar with all these lads before you came out, or are there a lot of these guys that are
No, you know, it's funny. Michael Todd was actually the first arm wrestler that I met a couple of years ago, and that got me my eyes open to the arm wrestling world, which I did not know anyone in this world. And I got to tell you, I treat a lot of professional athletes from around the world.
new? I mean, give people an insight on the guys that you do treat, Mark. I mean, you know, the other week, if you want to follow this guy as well, quick internet plug, let's go.
Yeah, if you want to follow me, my Instagram is the Stem Cell Doc. I have a website, the Stem Cell Doc. You can see all the people that I've treated. There are a lot of people that I can't say that I treat because it's private. It's private. They don't want anyone to know why they look so great. But you know, we're in every arena. We're in the football arena, UFC, MMA, arm wrestling. You know, actors, actresses. Just an amazing group, and the word is just catching on. The results and how it literally transforms people that are broken back into top athletes again. So look into it. Look at the site. You'll be able to get in touch with me. We're in the United States, of course, so I practice all over the world right now. So it's just a matter of where we're going to be in your area, and maybe we can get something set up.
Phil Woody, our admin there, has just put the link for everybody who's watching and you want to follow Mark, get over there. The Stem Cell Doc on Insta. Just been linked into the chat for you there, guys, by our admin, Phil. He's put it in there. Thank you, Phil Woody. Shame you can't be out here with us.
Chat from Carol.
Oh, Carolyn, what am I? Oh, wait a minute, reconnecting. Oh, we go. Internet was ropey. We're back on again.
I'll give you. Dr. Mark, thank you. Uncle John, Neil, you rock. Is something happening in Vegas, January? An event? Question mark. There will be an announcement next week.
There will be an announcement, yes. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's exciting. Very exciting news.
Big stuff. Big stuff going on in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, January. It's all going off, but don't tell anyone. Right.
Who knows? You might even see me on the table one
Kicking
day.
some ass. See who we got in there also now. So, guys, just drop us in the chat. What matches are you guys interested to see on this card most, and we can break them down.
All the doctors.
Let us know in the chat what you want to see, guys. Because let me tell you right now, Sarah Bachman and Eglevet Kute, oh my word, they look ready. You know, when people raise the game to come into something, those guys look ready to go. Sarah looks in ridiculous condition, doesn't she?
Amazing shit.
Yep.
Really looks in ridiculous condition. Just incidentally, aren't you supposed to be on a friggin' IV? Where'd he go?
I don't know. He got on the phone, spoke a bit of Turkish, and left.
They're across the hall in Matt's.
Ah.
I might go on there first.
Aha.
Yeah.
It's gone over to Matt Mass, who's just over the road there. Let's have a look. Okay, Hutchins, Ongabayev, Todzilla, all coming flying in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the match, isn't it?
He was just in the elevator, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get to say hello to you.
Todzilla.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good to meet you. Let's hook up before the weekend's over.
what an absolute weapon that lad is. And I've said it many times, it's my favourite match on the card.
Yep, I agree.
My favourite match on
it's
the card.
potentially going to be, it potentially could be the best match. I don't know if it's necessarily my favourite match, but if that turns in...
Favourite match, the main event.
Probably.
Because of emotional
but I
attachment.
think match-wise, I think it could easily be the best match.
Yeah.
It could be. If that turns into an endurance battle, oh my God. Because if Ongabayev gets any room to start working and playing and trying out things and exploring avenues and angles, then it could be super interesting. And then you've got the endurance of Todd Hutchins.
Which is legendary.
Oh, it's me. Get back on. There's a reason why you go in front of the camera, Neil. There's a reason why.
Let's have a look what else we got in there. Coach Ray's my pussy daddy. I love it. Ha ha! Luke 19, such a badass matchup. Yes, it is. Let's have a look. Neil, are you hosting a big right arm match in December? I don't know, is the answer to that one. I would love to, but I'm extremely busy at the moment. I've got a lot of things on, so I don't know whether I can do that. We've got a lot of gigs coming
you know
up.
why that is?
Yeah.
Because Devon has said that he's probably going to pull another match this year.
What I can tell you is this. Devon LARRATT will be back for our members in Arm Wars in January 2024.
Well, you've just announced what we were going to wait till next week to announce.
Not fully. People just saying there, when will Devon be back in Arm Wars? That's when. Can't tell you specifically when.
Yeah, January.
But he'll be back in January. Stacks, Niels, how the atmosphere with Dennis and Devon? I hear they're not talking terms. Don't know how much of this is exaggerated or not. No, it's not exaggerated, mate. It's not exaggerated. How much of it is just Dennis and Devon personally?
Not a lot. I
don't know. I don't think so. What do you think, Mark?
I don't see a whole lot of interaction here between the two of them, but the tension is high. But they both seem cool as cucumbers. I think it's going to be quite a battle once they get up at that table.
Yeah. Yeah, and
they've both got a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah.
Cock on the block. Who wins?
Devon, I think.
Cock on the block. Who wins?
Devon all the way.
Some people may say we're
I
biased.
don't think it's an easy match by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it is not an easy match at all.
Absolutely not.
No, let me tell you now. Joking aside, Dennis looks very, very ready. I don't know. I haven't seen his weight. To be honest, I've been out of touch with social media since we got here, and we've been traveling just beforehand, so I haven't really been picking up on that. But he looks to me as though he has gained 5 to 10 kilos of muscle in the right places.
Yeah,
his forearm is.
He's solid. Yeah. I actually got to meet him briefly, and got a grab of his arm, and he's rock solid. He's big. He's strong.
Structural outlier. When you meet Dennis in person, a lot of the guys that are here, and let me tell you, I think I've been to everyone since East versus West 4, and I can tell you now, the amount of people that are here from all over the world that have just come to tune in and check out this thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, usually there's not that many non-competitors here on a Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow, there's usually when.
Right now, they've come from all over the place.
But they're already here.
All over the globe.
Yeah.
So it's Neil, Luke 19's just put, Neil, have you seen many people with hands like Dennis in strongman? I haven't, mate, no. I was saying earlier in the feed, I work in this environment, and he really is a unique entity. In arm wrestling, in strongman, we talked about it last night, Mark, when we were having some drinks outside, or I can say I was having a drink, and some people are having more drinks.
It was a very rough trip over here, so it was, more of a relaxation atmosphere.
It was definitely relaxed.
Well, I was with my doctor, so everything.
That's right.
It was
with my doctor.
medically.
It was all part of the treatment plan.
Oh yes.
Medically endorsed relaxation techniques.
But
you know what?
Therapy.
You're talking about
Therapeutic
Dennis's
lager.
hand. As you guys know, my good friend Levon is here.
Yes, he is.
And to me, that man he's got the biggest hands and the strongest hands I've ever come across. But Dennis, his hands are huge.
I'd love for you to meet Mark Felix.
Yeah.
Because with one of the questions before about strongmen with big hands, it's different to Dennis. Everyone's hand is different to Dennis.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big your hand is. Dennis's hand is. It's not necessarily the longest, largest, but it is when you look at the joints. His joints are like his knuckles,
sausage.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark Felix
Mark
is
Felix's
a different man.
It goes like that.
Oh, Mark Felix
has
a 10-inch penis that he uses for foreplay.
Well, Matt, his hand
Dude's
is
got a
huge.
hand.
Matt
Mask is looking phenomenal here. Can I add?
He looks very good.
You see certain guys, like Todd Ziller would be a good example. You see certain guys and they show up at an event and you think, my God, that guy's come ready. Mm-hmm. He's very prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Mask looks really good.
Cobra Rose has come in with a super chat. Hashtag pickup. Hashtag D Dr. Mark. Hashtag Iron. Hashtag Wizard.
Hashtag Cobra Rhodes, hashtag Original Steel. Bad dude, love
Sensei.
him. Andy's my guy. Absolutely love him. What an hombre. If you're not a fan of Cobra Rhodes, what the is your
I don't
problem?
like Cobra Rhodes.
I like
love him.
that guy.
I don't like him, and I'll tell you why, Cobra. I don't like you.
I'm talking about a man I love.
Yeah, but he cost me $140 for
Oh
a haircut.
shit, the bet.
Do you remember that haircut?
Oh my
funny.
God. That's a bad haircut, wasn't it? Let's have a
That was
look
a bad
here.
haircut.
What we got in
I'm looking at a
here.
pretty bad one now, but
Cobra's awesome.
Right, he's top man. Corb's mega. Andy is the balls. Let's have a look. Some of our chats are ace, aren't they? Whoop, why did I do that? Let's have a look. When will I be back on the table? Oof. I don't know. When will I be back on the table? I don't know. Listen, I've had 7 injections, and I've had a lot of stuff go into my wrist. I believe that it will take time. I don't know how long that will be, but I'm going to do exactly what this guy tells me in terms of waiting till it starts to show signs of recovery, and then at that time I'll get in the gym and I'll again work at the pace that this guy advises. It's fair to say, I'm sure with everyone it's different, isn't it, in terms of
It is different. You have a very extensive injury, so it could take a couple of months. It could actually take longer. But I have full faith that you're going to be back on the table strong as ever.
and the plan right now, guys, is to take 4 to 6 weeks, you were saying,
About 4 to
see
6
how it
weeks.
feels, and then go into the gym, pick up a lightweight and start to just move it around and see if you're here now, Mike, when I move my wrist, it goes, it cracks and bumps and clunks. It's pretty knackered. I'm hoping that over time that starts to diminish and it starts to come back a little bit. So Mario, man, I can't give a set date, mate, but as soon as I feel like I could pull, I'll start to give it a shot. I think it'll take time for me to blow away a rust. There's going to be a considerable amount of rust in that period of time that I haven't been arm wrestling.
2024. That's your year. This comeback year.
Let's go and try and I'm under no illusions that I'm going to come back and be dealing with any of these young men.
interesting question. Who will replace MMT in the commentary team?
We don't know. I haven't been told yet. That is an interesting. Myself and Ray were talking about that actually earlier today, and I really don't know. I mean, I know last time. John can't because John's last.
No, a certain Italian
Second
has been
last.
approached.
Hermes
has been approached, but as yet not confirmed.
Yeah. The Drew 24, Neil versus Maiden 2024. Dude, that won't happen. I ain't gonna pull Paul. No other reason than I don't like Paul. So that ain't gonna happen.
Tell me how you feel.
Yeah,
Tell me how you really feel.
Simple. He'll tell you how he feels every week about me and makes up nonsense about me every week. So, I'm not Mother Teresa. The guy spends his entire life telling lies about you and about why would I promote that guy? I mean, why would I do it? So, could it be a big match? Could it be interesting? Sure, it could. Yeah, Paul's a good puller, no doubt about that. But I just don't want to promote him. As simple as that, really. I did do, but he took it upon himself to want to just.
A lot of people seem
as
to be
offensive
talking
as
about
possible.
ring rust and Dennis. Do you think that's a factor?
Yeah, I do. I do believe. I do. I do think that could be a factor. I think as it would be with any top arm wrestler. As I said earlier, if I was going to come back to the sport, I think it'll be a great deal of time where you need to just find the flow of the matches again and try and amend your style to where the current level of the game is.
Do you think it's a factor going off, because obviously he's already pulled John a couple of months ago. Do you think he will have shook off enough ring rust there?
No.
Did you see any signs?
I think
of
it's
ring
not.
rust?
It's not just that. It's more about the fact that Devon is very, very active right now at the highest level.
Well, is there anybody else more active at any level?
No, and he's feeling a lot of hands of the top guys in the game. If you look around the level of activity that he's had over the last 12 to 18 months, 2 years, it's been ludicrous.
I tell you, I've been with Devon when he trains, and I've watched him arm wrestle for 7 straight hours.
Which is
7 straight hours. And I don't know anybody that I've seen do that before. And very respectable on the table. Great teacher, great mentor. I watch him take these young guys and show them the ropes and just one after another. And I don't care how late it is, that man will stay till 5 o'clock in the morning making sure everybody gets to grab his hand on the table. You know, he's such a good man.
It's lovely to see how approachable Devon is. When we've been walking around here, the amount of people that have come over just to watch the matches here, as I say, and all of them will probably tell you the same thing. He's very, very accessible, very approachable, and it's a great time for arm wrestling because of that right now.
Even last night.
Very much
the
so.
young man that came
the
up
kid
last
that came
night.
over last night from Estonia,
Yeah.
just literally walked over, was a little nervous,
Kind of
was a little shy.
starstruck, you know,
Yep,
it was
yep.
very cool.
And it was nice to see. Really, really nice to see. Not My Monkeys, who is my guy, is in the chat and he's put, "Hail Vitacell." The message is spreading. Let's, how does Devon even heal from all that he does? I think he uses that, to be perfectly honest. Let's have a look. Hey, my man, Rhodesy, Cobra's in the chat here. He's put,
Said
"Neil,
3 weeks straight.
do you remember the time I stayed at the table for 3 straight weeks?" Listen, I remember the time when you stayed at the table for 4 days and 9 nights and didn't even have a drink of water. Mate, let me tell you, Cobra, piss funny. Some of the stuff, when he got lit up once, we were in Virginia Beach and he got lit up like Blackpool seafront, went out with a straw hat on and a flower in it, got into all kinds of shit. Good stuff, good times. Pulling the night before Worlds as you do. Quality stuff. Let's have a look here. So one of the big changes that's going to be here as well is that Engen has got the VIPs on stage, which is going to be quite interesting.
We'll probably see some of that setup when we go down for the rules meeting.
Which
So
we
we-
should
yeah,
have been
so-
in 12 minutes ago.
So we can't really answer that question yet until we go down and have a look.
We're going to be on the IV if he's not stood us up.
Yeah. I might go and find him, actually.
It's not a bad idea just to
Makes
find out
sense.
timings.
Yeah.
You know Matt's room?
Let's have a look
You
here.
know Matt's room, straight across?
Is that where what's he in?
Just literally go back out, go straight across. I think it's 35. But it's straight
So
across.
let me see in our chat. When press conference, Luigi, it's 8 o'clock Turkish time, which is in around about 3 hours, 2 hours, 50 minutes from now. If you want to tune in and check out the press conference, let's have a look. Other matches you guys are interested in, let us know. What else is your favorite matches? There's some big ones on this card. Rustam Babayev is back for this one. He will pull Irakli Zirakashvili. Both men looking great shape. Rustam, very relaxed. I saw him downstairs a moment ago with his sister and a few of the guys from Austria and Switzerland, and he was chilling. Looks very relaxed, very confident, big, very powerful. One of the matches that appeals to me most is Brzenk
John, yeah.
and Sasho. Now, you've worked with John a little bit,
yes.
Mark. What do you know about this guy? What, has he,
Man,
what
a
have you found
gentleman.
out?
What a sweetheart guy. You know, to be back in the game, and even on the last match that I saw, him just dominating. And again, he's somebody else that we take care of with the stem cells, and he's just been a class act all the way. And he's cut a lot of weight for this competition. So we're going to see a different John, probably. So, you know, rooting for my man John Brzenk tomorrow night.
And he's, obviously, you've treated this guy. How bad was the extent of the damage that you saw on John?
He had a good amount. I don't want to say as much as you. You've got a lot going on. John, you got a lot going on, Neil.
Yeah, pretty screwed.
But John, you know, almost typical arm wrestling injuries, always the wrist, elbow, shoulders. We've worked on his shoulder. It's definitely strengthened his shoulder. And his comeback is obvious. So looking forward to tomorrow night.
Should be awesome. We'll get back to that in a moment. We just got a super chat from TMTL. Thank you for your super chat, brother. He's put, do you think we will see any never seen before moves from Kirigali Ongabayev tomorrow? He's the best pound for pound arm wrestler in the world. You know what? I think there's a really, really high chance that we do. And the reason for that is because I believe that where Todzilla's strengths are going to create some real questions for Kirigali. Kirigali's ace moves, the thing that he does best, that he likes to do the most, is to move backwards. The big weakness or the big opportunity to take Todd out of the game is with a tremendous amount of speed to the side. So if you look at the way that he lost with Evgeny Prudnik, that's a pretty clear illustration of what you're going to see and where Todzilla has a weakness. That is not the go-to move of Kirigali Ongabayev. Kirigali likes to move backwards, gain control, and then work from there. And I think he's going to struggle to do that in the manner that he would normally do. He'll know that. He's a very strategically articulate lad. And I believe he may try some different stuff, and I think he's going to need to. If Toddzilla can get the stop, I think you're going to see more from Kirigali than you ever have done before. 2 reasons. The first one is that he's brave, and he will try a lot of different things. Anyone who's seen a lot of his matches will understand that he will try to go through the gears in this super match format. The second thing there is that I think that he will not have faced anyone, and I'm trying to sort of think about all the guys that he's pulled, and I don't think he's ever faced anyone with a similar style to Toddzilla. I think Toddzilla is arguably the strongest pound-for-pound puller in terms of raw combination package that it's possible to face at that weight class. And I think that when Kirigali is stopped by Todd, he will find it very restrictive. He'll find it different to pulling most arm wrestlers in that there is no rest spot. With most guys, they have what I like to call a breathing spot, okay? So when they're going through the movements at the table, they'll take breaths, they're linear, they'll go for a big exertion, then they're gonna breathe, and at that point in time is when they'll try to make that amendment and that adjustment. Todd is erratic in that respect. He doesn't breathe in a normal linear fashion. His timing is different, his timing is off, and he will conceal his breathing. He's not all about just side pressure. Toddzilla has a lot more going on than that. Todd's back pressure is significant. He'll give a little wrist, pronate very hard, and as he's dragging, he will move to the side. And he does that in a very constant manner, a very efficient manner. You don't find those breathing spots that you will find with most arm wrestlers, and that's what's going to make things difficult for Kirigali. If you look back at Kirigali's past, he will throw in a lot of different movements. We saw it when he pulled Zirakashvili. We saw it when he pulled Alex Kadecha in the top 8 days. This is a guy with a real repertoire, and I think we're probably going to see more of that against Toddzilla than we have done in the past. So super interesting match, one of my favourites, if not my favourite on the card. Eldar, thank you for your super chat. Neil, thanks for supporting the sport. Would you look into making an arm wrestling tournament for paraplegics? There's a lot of us, and our arms and our legs stronger than our legs friends for sure. Mate, I think that that is a very, very good point, and I think that there's enough evidence out there. Some of the incredible stuff. I would want to know what it was on, but I watched a clip a couple of days ago. It may have been on Insta, and you guys may have seen it, and it was of a guy in something like the CrossFit Games or a CrossFit style format, and he was doing an overhead clean and jerk.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, some unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I mean, there's things you see and you're like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
But that
this
would be
guy,
fantastic
that was
to have
fucking unbelievable.
To have an event for veterans, paraplegics, anybody.
That
It'd be amazing.
was amazing to me. Watching that kid, just, you know, the balance issues that he will face compared to an fully able-bodied athlete is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. The fact that he's got to balance the weight on the arm without gripping it, wow. My respect level for that guy was off the scale. So yeah, I think that will be awesome, mate, in answer to the question. Dizzy Daz, Neil, you're just the best on the mic in your hand. Can't wait for your comeback from temporary class permanent, mate. I hope it works. I'm very, very confident in these guys and what they do. My sort of long-term game plan, and it is a long-term game plan, is to not overextend it. When I was talking to Mark, and this guy has treated people in a myriad of sports. Let me tell you, when I went over to Florida, Mark said, okay, where do you feel the damage? And I was pretty specific in a couple of areas. And he said, okay, I'm just going to like check you out in different areas and see if I can find any places that may be problematic. And found sort of 3 areas which I had no clue were damaged. Very, very surprising to me. If you'd have asked me about my shoulder, well, you did. And I thought my shoulder was fine. Didn't think that was a problem for me. Turns out I had an injury there I didn't know.
I've got a quick question for you on that, Matt. Because that is obviously, when you felt the shoulder, was your thought pattern like, well, if we fix his wrist, then his elbow's going to need to be strong. If we fix it strong, his shoulder's going to need to be strong. And therefore, let's get on with that shoulder now. Was that your thought pattern?
Yes, I'd rather do all the injuries the same time. This way, you can heal everything at once as whole. It doesn't make any sense to go in and do something and wait a month or two, then go back and then do from wrist to elbow to shoulder. And that's why I probe around. Most of the arm wrestlers have similar injuries, and lots of times they don't know they have these injuries. And literally takes me about a second or two to find them, and more or less like with you, light you up just by pressing on something. And you know, and it's easy to feel where there's partial tears and there's damage to ligaments and tendons, and that's the areas that we focus on.
And one of the most interesting points for me, when I had my third joint rebuild, and the one that was, touch wood, most successful, certainly achieved most for me, the guy who did the operation, Mike Caminani, thank you, Mike, for everything you did for me there. The operation was long, it was successful, but when he came back in to see me, he said, look, we had to get to the injured area, and to do that, I had to take out a lot of tissue, a lot of muscle tissue. Major detriment there was that they had to cut out my pronator, so they sliced through the muscle and took out a lot of the pronator, which I'd built for 20 years, and it was a huge part of my game. That was pretty devastating, and they left a small sliver of that. And Mark actually hit that on the last day, sort of something that Mark said while we were there. Thought, well, it's worth a shot, if you pardon the expression.
Sure.
And we did actually try that, so that's quite exciting for me. If just that allows me to start to regain that area, because it was something that was taken away, and that was hard. It created a situation where I had to reassess my entire arm wrestling style. Probably there's some benefit in having done that, but I'm excited to see if that can be regained at some point. I'd love to get, I would love to get to the situation where I could pull one more time with John. Nothing against John, I love John, he's my guy, but he's the best. I just, listen, I wouldn't insult John if I wasn't good enough to give John a match, and there's a hell of a distance between where I am now and where I'd need to get to be anything like John Brzenko. I'm not fit to clean his shoes at this point in time, but the aspiration, the dream, if I was going to be able to get to that level, I would love to pull John one more time. That would be,
It's going to happen.
That would be fantastic for me. It's an honor to pull that guy at any time, and I would love to be in a situation where I had enough to give John anything, win, lose or draw. So we'll see where the road takes us. I want to say a massive thank you to Mark, to Rob, to all the guys at VitaCell Biologics for the assistance that they've given me in this respect. I'm going to do exactly what they say and see if I can get myself back on the table. It would be amazing if that can be done.
Our pleasure.
Let's have a look. Have we got any more questions?
Well, there's some questions.
Okay.
Do you think Matt Mass will beat Vanilla Ice?
So Matt is pulling Lamparelli.
Lamparelli, yeah.
Frank, I know Frank very well. Frank Lamparelli is a very, very underrated arm wrestler from a really solid country of arm wrestlers. I haven't seen enough of Frank recently to give you a firm steer on where his level is. I think there's a lot of advantages for Matt here, and I would say that they come in this order. First of all, I think whoever you are, however experienced you are, and Frank Lamparelli is very experienced. He was at the top of his game 15 years ago. To come here, to pull in this environment on a card of this magnitude is going to be very nerve-wracking. It's going to be intense. It's going to ask questions of you. Matt Mask has been here many, many times in this pressure cauldron. He's pulled another top Italian in Hermes Gasparini.
Matt, do you want to go next?
Phenomenal, sure. Phenomenal arm wrestler. And he was not overawed by that. I think that's a big advantage for him. Really big advantage. I see Matt as a favourite, probably 60-40. I believe that Lamparelli has the physical tools to put himself in the match. But if I was going to pick a winner there, it would be Matt Mask right now. That's nothing personal. I just believe that is the case. So Mark is now, Dr. Mark is now going on the IV drip. I'll be the last to go on there. How's that drip going, pal?
It's just gone in. I think he just put, it's a drip. So I'm How long am I stuck here for?
Might be a while. Might be a while.
I'd say
So let's have a look.
45 minutes maybe.
Jungkook, yeah, how you doing, brother? We're going to go for another sort of 10, 15 minutes. I'll try and get on here later on tonight as well, guys. The only reason we jumped on here, guys, was just because we've got a little bit. Oh, Luigi says, no chance for Matt. Lamparelli way stronger. So there may be a guy that's more in touch with Frank. And he may feel like Frank is right in his game right now. And Frank's a big man. If you're not familiar with Frank Lamparelli, this is a supremely experienced guy. Guy's been around the game forever. And obviously pulling with very high level arm wrestlers. So we'll see. Huge shot, huge opportunity. Can he deal with the pressure here? We'll see. But I think there should be no pressure for Frank, but there will be. I think most people will believe that they're going to see Matt Mask win the match. Does Frank feel that way? When Frank is sat in his room now, does he feel nerves? Is he nervous? Is he concerned? I don't know. Let's have a look. Hey, Sarah Bachman looks phenomenal. Really, really prepped. Athletic, powerful. She looks really solid. She's dealing with Egler. Egler's a bigger girl. Bigger natural frame. Okay? Not many people with a bigger frame than Egler. I think the better technical arm wrestler is probably Sarah. She's from the Swedish Machine. She's as professional as any of the Swedes. There's an air of sinister confidence about Sarah. She's unbelievably confident, quietly confident, not in your face, but very, very confident. Believe me, she really, really thinks she's going to win this thing. And I think that's a weapon for her. We're going to see. The time for talk is nearly done. It's coming quick. So we got about 330 people in here, only 100 likes. If you can hit that like button for us, guys, that will be great. Let's have a look. Will there be security guards at the press conference? I have no idea whether that will be the case. Hey, Mark, if you can jump on the side here next, I can get you both in shot while you're getting dripped up.
Yeah, get on that side.
Yeah, and I can keep you on the in shot here. So
I think he's getting ready to inject me.
Let's have a look here. Do you believe Dennis will win the match tomorrow? I don't. I think Devon's going to win it in a screamer, but who the hell knows? I think it's 45 Dennis, 55 Devon right now as I see it. And I think the match will be pretty ugly early. I think there'll be a settling point. I think if the strength levels are close in any of the key areas, the rise, the pronation, I think it turns into quite an ugly match. I think there's a lot of emotion in here, and not bad emotion, not the sort of stuff that's been going down with Babkin and Dev and all that stuff. I think the lads just want to win this match badly. They know that this match is critically important, and they'll want very much to win this thing. So I think they're going to go out on the shield. How do you think Devon will handle the potential low hand grip of Dennis? I think through frame, through structure. I think that it's not Devon's first rodeo. He's faced giants before. Certainly hand size will not be a problem for him. I think there's something in Devon's game that would invite that, if I'm perfectly honest. I think he'd love to get additional levels of fatigue into the hand. Let's just move that out of the way for the doctor here. He'd love the opportunity to put more fatigue into the hand of Dennis. Look, there is a lane. There is an opportunity for Dennis to just be too strong. This is a structural outlier. This is a guy that could potentially be something we don't yet know. We'll find out. Don't be of the opinion that what we're going to see tomorrow night is going to be anything like we saw when these guys met left-handed. Very different thing.
I've got a question for you when you're ready for another one.
Yeah, okay, mate. Fire.
All right. If Dennis and Devon turn into if it goes into a long match, if they're very equal, who do you see winning a long match.
I do believe it's going to be a long match, and that's the actual reason why I give the slight advantage to Devon.
Okay.
I think Devon's height, particularly leverage. So when I talk about advantages in the frame and structure are different things. Structure, Dennis. Frame, Devon. Height, leverage advantage. Versatility and options from a stopped match to climb, which, if you look at a lot of Devon's matches, his ability and propensity to climb in a stopped match is second to none. He will really work that hard. I think that Dennis, because of the fact that he's structural outlier, he will rely upon that. He's going to look to capitalize. Stacey, how you doing, brother? I think he'll reliant upon that, and he will look to capitalize on that extreme structure that he has. It will get an acid test tomorrow. Acid test. Look for ugly early. I really think this is going to be a punishing match early.
You think we're going to see double kings early?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I expect so. Yeah, I'll be very surprised. If not, we're probably going to see somebody's got a massive advantage.
Yeah.
Listen, well, you can think, myself, Engin, anybody's an arm wrestling expert. Yeah, arm wrestling expert, yeah, whatever. All I'll tell you is this. We all have opinions. We all have conjecture. But tomorrow, when those guys touch hands for the first time and they get that settling in the center and the referee's about to give them the start, that's when there's going to be that downloading of information. And don't be surprised if you see something we don't expect from one of these guys, because both of them are going to get a real read for the first time. All that sort of imagination on where their opponent is goes out the window at that point. Suddenly they get the real read on where the guy is at that time. There are a massive number of layers involved in this in terms of specifically where the differential is. Is it about height? Is it about back pressure? Is it about rise? Is it pronation? Endurance may manifest itself if both guys are working at a similar level. Are they going to be identical in strength? Probably not. Is there going to be a big difference in some areas? Very likely. I think that Dennis has more top-end strength, red line. I think that more specific strength, pronation strength, rise strength, potentially wrist strength, and ability to utilize and protect that because of height, will go with Devon. And I think those finer points are what's going to decide this match. I don't think either of these guys have a backward step in them. I think either one is prepared to go to the absolute edge of their existence to win this poll. You just have to talk to these lads here, which we've had the opportunity to do throughout today. They're very, very committed to winning this match. And both men are very confident. Very confident. We were eating with Devon today. He was supremely confident, believes he's going to win this match. If you go over to Dennis's camp, there's a feeling in that camp that they're ready, that they can, they're looking at their guy, they're looking at Dennis, and he looks fantastic. He looks like he's put the power on in the right areas. It looks like that legendary ogre is back in the mix. Is it enough? Has Devon evolved enough to create a narrowing? One day, and we know. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. It's been an incredible day here at East versus West. I'll probably speak to you guys a little later on. We'll maybe drag some of the lads in and you can hear from them. I don't think we're going to get Dennis and Devon. We'll leave those guys alone. But there's a lot of arm wrestlers here, and we'll try and pick up a few of those guys and see if they can talk to us for a little while. I want to say a massive thank you to all you guys for tuning in, checking out this live. We're going to go down and actually I'm going to get on the drip first and see if I can make myself feel less like shit than I do. And then we're going to go over to the press conference. We'll be seeing you guys a little later for that. Hopefully you can all tune in and check out the press conference, and hopefully it doesn't go on too long. Guys, thank you. Make sure you buy your pay-per-view if you haven't done. East versus West goes down tomorrow night from 8 p.m. Turkish time. Should be a hell of a card. Some incredible matches there. And yeah, I hope you all have the opportunity to check it out, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.